like I said, and I know I'm shocking a few people. I didn't even tell Pix yet about this, but I'm good. I made this decision completely on my own. I made a lot of tough decisions today. I didn't want to make a big announcement yet because I thought about it last night after we all talked on Discord and I talked to Greg about that and some other heavier topics. I had to make a decision about this. And it doesn't come lightly, it doesn't come easy, and it's something that I think I needed to do a while ago. So this is the series finale of the Bonnet Chronicles. After Tuesday, I felt broken. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this shit. I felt like the end of the world was upon us. I panicked because I was the only one in my house. And still technically, until the new ones get in here, the only one in my house with a functioning passport. And it was a diplomatic one back then. Expires next year, but it's still usable. It expires, I believe, on my birthday of next year. Yep. 2025, actually, in July 2025. I don't want to have to think on the level of I'm getting out of here, but I've got my exit strategy already planned out and I'm working on things. We are in dark, dangerous times. And I'm not going to spend another 4 years doomsaying, doom crying, listing off the names of people who are going to be lynched, listing off the names of people who are going to be stopped, frisked, detained. I did my part. My family did their part to vote properly. We worked our asses off, text banking, phone banking, reaching out to whoever we could to do the right thing this year. I argued with people who I knew were going to suffer because they were a one-topic issue with the Gaza situation here in Michigan. Y'all thought abstaining, protest voting, or literally voting for the other guy was going to be okay because you were sticking it to us Dems who couldn't give you everything you wanted off the bat. And now you are literally going to be under the guy who not only had the first Muslim ban, which directly affected me because of my neighbors.
This is Kalari in 2017, and this is her real name. This is her account. Okay, there is still no word on the status of my neighbor's mom, who at 70 was considered too much of a threat to keep her here in the States. 3 years of work to obtain a legal visa shot to hell due to people who rather lump all of the Muslim faith as terrorists. Again, this woman calls herself an author. Look at this grammar. Now with Trump's rhetoric, I have more coming to me for help, knowing that even valid paperwork may not help them. This country has become a living nightmare for many families. We need more to stand up for our friends and neighbors. They do not deserve the indignities this administration places on them. I will continue to do all I can to help. Now, this is the kicker. Are you guys listening? All right. If you wish to help towards potential legal fees, donate to groups like the ACLU and immigrant advocacy groups. So far, so good. Okay. I, too, accept donations to continue my work to help families who want to live here legally. And she puts up her PayPal. Spread the word and educate yourself. Do not let ignorance and hate divide our country. I thought the burrito bowl grift was too much. Kalari, are you out of your fucking mind? You were accepting donations to help people with their immigration paperwork? You're not qualified to do that. Are you a lawyer, in addition to all your other amazing accomplishments? What were you taking donations for? I swear to God, you guys, this by far, the sanctuary, the farm, the burrito bowl, all of it, pales in comparison to this motherfucking grift. This is one of the worst grifts I have ever seen anyone pull online. Do you know that if you file even a comma out of place, which is the case with this one because she doesn't know how to write a sentence, that you could get deported, you could get your green card rejected? your citizenship rejected, and this bitch was taking donations to help people with their immigration status? Are you fucking joking? Kalari, you are the worst grifter I have ever seen on this platform. This is exploiting a very vulnerable community, what you are doing here. And you can come up with a million explanations for why it was okay and all the people you helped. I won't believe a word of it. I'm just saying.
And now you are literally going to be under the guy who not only had the first Muslim ban, which directly affected me because of my neighbors from NC, but Gaza, if you were so worried about it, you just gave the presidency to a man who literally is on tape saying it's going to be resort properties. He's going to put his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, in charge of that. And any of you who wanted to talk about America not being in wars no more because we were in that awful Iraq conflict for over 20 years, be prepared for our troops being rolled out to help Putin against the Ukraine, to help Bibi against the Palestinians. All the stuff that you claimed you wanted to protect and prevent, all the lives you claimed to be about saving, you have put in jeopardy domestically and abroad. And I don't want to hear, oh, Tin, you told us so. Because those of you who follow me know I've been telling you so. This cast, and when I upload it to YouTube, which I'm going to fucking love, because I've already torched my YouTube channel by saying goodbye to a certain community as it is. I'm good with starting over. I'm good at starting again. A&D will still go on Saturdays, another nerdy discussion. But after today, the Bonnet Chronicles has to stop. I've put my life on the line for this cast and other casts that were politically and socially aware. I've had threats to myself and my family. And now, for the holidays, I can't even sit across from the people that I married into because I don't feel safe. I know they willingly went to the polls to vote against my rights and freedom. This is a hell that I didn't choose to be in. I had to sit around speaking to people as if they would hear me, and you didn't. You didn't think enough beyond yourselves. And now you've played yourselves. Everybody wants to say America has enemies. Yes, we did. And a lot of yous played into the enemy's hands with what you did on Tuesday. They didn't have to launch a war to destroy us. They let us do it to ourselves. Point blank, democracy is on life support. And I am saying that from the safe perch of a rural white town where I don't really have to know anybody out here. Then the few I do, the people that mow our lawn, which live close, the people that do our septic, which is not even 2 houses away, and the people directly across from us are the only ones that really know my black ass live here. I could hunker down and stay safe for so long. But there are things coming that I don't think you all understand or comprehend. And that's why it's not just going to be doomsaying and calling out today. It is going to be ways to anybody who wants to hear it, how to buckle down and protect yourself as best as possible. Because the reality of the situation is, even though I want to get my family, including my friends who I think are family, up out of here, that is not going to be easy. It takes paperwork. Right now, passport renewal forms, for those of you that don't understand, passport application forms for your family members. Because if you do not have a valid passport, even getting a visa for tourism that you may have to use to parlay into other stuff, not going to be possible. New passport photos done yesterday. The fact of the matter is, some of you want to play like the rule and norm is still for everybody. Some of you want to act like this is normal. Even in 2016, I didn't feel the level of fear that I feel right now. Even with Joe Biden still in charge until January, I had visceral nightmares Wednesday. Well, yeah, we didn't get to bed till like Wednesday early morning after midnight, about 1:30. I woke myself up from that nightmare, crying, so hard that Greg just held me and let me let it out. Because I dreamt of the roundups of me and people who look like me and people who don't look like me but thought they'd be safe because they think they can be the mono minority. The kangaroo court that told us we're the enemies of our own country for daring to vote Democrat or speak out. And need I remind you, a little brief history, I spoke out on any politician, whether they had a D or a R by their name. It's all up. It's all archived on YouTube. But some of you want to just say, oh, this is a Dem sheep. Or worse, I was on a Dem plantation. I was voting for the party that did the least harm. Because whether you want to believe it or not, the Republicans are looking to harm us. They always have. That's why I started this cast on Twitch, because I wanted to try to remind people of harm reduction. These people for years have said they're coming after our Social Security, they're coming after our right to vote, they're coming after women's reproductive rights. They didn't want Roe versus Wade anymore. They didn't want marriage equality. And the youth is what really disappoints me, because you're pointing fingers at Gen X. And get it right, it's white Gen X. And I don't care if you think I'm playing the race card at this time, we need to separate. We tried unity with you fuckers and the exit polls don't lie. There can be no coalition right now. So if you're going to get mad at me for talking my blackness out, I suggest you leave the room at this point. Because I'm going to get real, I'm going to get raw, and I'm going to get frank with stuff. Which some of you motherfuckers are still going by rule of law and acting like this shit isn't real. You did it in 2016, technically 2015, when I really walked away from a lucrative job, the job of my dreams. Promotions at a game company. My fucking wheelhouse. But I was dealing with harassment. I was dealing with wanting to talk politics and not wanting the big ass company that took a chance with me to get harassed and called for supporting me and my views. Because whether people like it or not, when you have strong political views, it does affect the jobs you work for. So I took freelance jobs. I did speech writing for a congressman's first bid. I started writing seriously my first novel, which I launched 2 years ago. The second one's about to be launched. But I went heavily into talking politics and social issues. I did customer service jobs. I did anything I could to keep my son and myself head above water. Survival is not new to me. Survival is baked in me from my ancestors. But I did not think I was gonna have to fight this hard for survival. And today, as Greg and I talked, and the reality of the situation hit us as we're planning a proper exit strategy for when shit gets bad, we made a very painful decision. Now, I wasn't loud about that on here. And I made the mistake on YouTube when I was a part of certain communities of believing that I could share my joy, my attempts, my successes with people. Because I was excited about potentially having another child with my now amazing husband, who was my best friend for almost 2 decades. We wanted to try for a little girl, but we would have loved any gender that came out of me. The whole idea of trying for a baby, even at my age and being a black woman, was already high risk. And so today, as Greg and I sat across from each other talking about the future, because I've declined going to a family gathering for the holidays, I'm going to do a small dinner here for him, kiddo, and I, because I can't look at their faces right now. Because they voted against me and my son. And that is honest. But we had to look at each other and realize that right now, in the foreseeable future, as long as we are on American soil, putting my life at risk for a pregnancy that will already be high risk isn't viable. When I see my OBGYN next, it's not going to be to do a pregnancy test. It's going to be to insert a birth control device so that I can't risk again becoming pregnant and then going back on anti-psych, antidepressant meds, so that I can at least keep my mind straight while we figure everything out. This is not going to be easy, y'all. This is not going to be fun. I'm scared for women in America. I'm scared for black people in America. I'm scared for children in America. I'm scared for the LGBTQ+, Muslims, Jewish people, Southeast Asian and Asian people, Hispanic, even though you've all voted against your self-interest, indigenous people. When I seen those exit polls, I was shocked. You've protested so hard against fracking and having your land drilled for oil. And now you're putting the guy who wants to repeal all the federal backing to protect your lands, to protect the environment, to not have you murdered while you are fucking protesting. And that is why I say with my full black chest, and I speak for me, but I know a lot of sister girls have said it, and I know a lot of you think you're gonna browbeat us and guilt trip us. I'm retired after this. I am retired from this. I did not work hard to end up having to be a part of some fucking resistance. And to the woman who's trying to organize another women's march, you can have a hearty fuck you too. I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told you the first time you had a women's march. I voted the right way. I am not gonna sit around with a fucking pink pussy hat when I needed to organize so that we could get this motherfucker out in 4 years, from 2016 to 2021. And even after we were met with a fucking violent insurrection that his people were inspired by, I still believed in American democracy. I still held my grandmother's words to my heart. Vote, because they don't want us to, and they will take it from us. And yous are stripping me of my grandmother's legacy. Y'all have killed democracy.